Namaste. Hello and welcome to Zoom Yoga number 53. The quote to start today, it's anonymous. You will never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. You will never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. So shall we start? Okay, if you'd like to lie down on your back, place the soles of your feet together and allowing the knees to flop out. And we're just going to trace the thumbs up the center of the body. So we've done this many times. So lying down in the back, soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to flop out. Take your hands, place the palms together with the fingers pointing down, resting in your groin. And we're going to inhale as we bend at the wrists without bending at the elbows until the thumbs come around to touch the torso. And as we inhale, we trace the thumbs up over the face, over the back of the head, as close to the ground as possible. And stretch, elongate the torso, lift up the shoulder girdle, stretch through the arms, and then sweep the fingers out as they're gently touching the ground as you sweep around. And we just continue, adjust the feet if you need to. Obviously, as the knees flop out and remain in the position, you'll be able to take your feet closer to your seat. And we just continue bending at the wrists, thumbs touching the torso. And you inhale as you sweep up over the head, touch the back of the head, get the thumbs on the ground as close as you can to the head, depending how flexible you are, depending what experiences your body's been through. And you can hold the stretch after the inhalation, depending on how many breaths you've taken. And then exhale as you sweep out and down. It's a wonderful stretch. It's good for getting the air into the lower lobes of the lungs for full yogic breath. Adjust the feet again if you need to. Take them closer to your seat. Inhale as you come up. Really don't be passive. Really stretch that torso, stretch the arms. And you can even get the lower back lifting off the ground as well. So you're cleansing the lungs, oxygenating the blood, and calming the nervous system at the same time as stretching the body for minimal effort. The body's fully supported as you do this, and it's a lovely stretch. So after a long day at the office, when you come home, you can just get yourself on the mat, perhaps stick on the soup as the food's cooking. You can be doing a few stretches to ease out the tension of the day. And this is a great one that you can do even if you're exhausted. It will only give energy. Even if you don't feel motivated, apply a little bit of discipline to garnish the benefit. And you're keeping the stretch from the shoulders to the elbows to the wrists to the fingers as you're lowering the arms. Readjust your feet if you need to, take them a bit closer. Remember, it takes 6 seconds for the structures to start to release and to assist you. Slow, smooth, full yogic breath, which is allowing the diaphragm to push down, causing an inflation of the abdomen. And as the lungs fill up, expand the rib cage and stretch through the top. So one last check with the feet. Perhaps you can take them a little bit closer to the seat and you'll feel the stretch in the inner thighs. And a few more stretches with the thumbs. So you're getting that air right into the lower lobes of the lungs, right into the alveoli, which can hold stale air. Apparently the lungs retain a third of air. So you're trying to circulate fresh air into that lower lobes. Three more in your own time. Remember, you can take as many breaths as you wish as you're tracing the thumbs up over the torso. As you exhale, you're softening, surrendering the body weight onto the ground. Last one. And if you've been doing this for a prolonged time, to ease any discomfort when lifting the legs up, you can take your arms, take your hands and just help as you lift the knees up together and then stretch out the legs. So palms down at the side of the body, or you can place them behind your head, whatever you're more comfortable with. And we're going to do simple leg lifts, a third at a time. So we're going to start with the right leg. We're going to inhale and hold and lift the leg a third. Inhale and hold. Another third. And then lastly, you can take it up as high as you can. It doesn't matter how high it gets, but it does matter that you try and keep it straight. You can stay with the leg raised and take a few breaths, or you can just lower right away, lower on an exhalation a third at a time. So it's a simple exercise, but again, you're getting the breath in slowly and deeply, you're contracting muscles, and you're resting at the same time. So alternate leg onto the left, inhale up a third, exhale, wait. And you can feel what's happening with the thigh muscles, the abdominals, the lower back. And you're getting a lovely stretch through the hamstrings if you're keeping the legs straight. Have a wee look and check. Sometimes you think it's straight, but you've bent it. So if you've bent it, you just take a leg down a little bit and straighten it. And that's your maximum lift for the moment. So once the leg starts to shake or get heavy, then you know you've done too much. So you stop, have a wee break, move on to the next posture, or continue again with the same one. Raising alternate legs by a third. Get that breath in deep. You can hold each third for a number of breaths. You can play about with it as you wish. To fine-tune your own practice. Once more to either side, and then we'll do leg circling. Slow, smooth, deep breaths, waiting for your natural pause. Take a few comfort breaths in the resting position. If you wish to direct the energy down through your legs, you breathe in with lung and you focus on your tailbone. Namaha on the exhalation, lung, namaha, and that directs the energy right down through your legs. It's a bija mantra. Lung, namaha. So now we'll start with the right leg and we'll do clockwise, then left leg clockwise, right leg anti-clockwise, left leg anti-clockwise. So right leg, we inhale as we raise up, along, exhale as you come down. So you decide how many you want to do. Maybe a couple's enough, maybe 3, maybe 5. Inhale in the upward movement. Exhale in the downward. And try to get the full range, but not right away. So you start the circle, but as your leg relaxes, you can increase the circumference. But don't tire it out. Rather do less and switch leg and build them up slowly. So switch leg in your own time. Clockwise, inhale in the upward movement. Exhale in the downward. And you can feel the abdominals. You can perhaps hear the clicking of the various ligaments and tendons and muscles clicking back into a different position. If you've damaged any area of your body and you're using it and you're moving it slowly, you'll hear the snap, crackle, and pop of the various structures. And when you're ready, you change leg anti-clockwise with the right. Inhale in the upward movement, exhale in the downward. And again, when you're ready, change back to the left, anti-clockwise. Very simple, but very effective. Creating subtle changes in the body. In its most basic form, it releases blockages for prana, for energy to flow through. As simple as that. So any areas of tension create a roadblock for energy to flow through the body. And then an area begins to shut down, you become more tense, you begin to protect it, and then it affects your gait. So once you finish with your leg circles, we'll go straight into a resting position, but it's a resting position with window wipers. So we take our feet to our seat, feel that they're parallel. You can have them hip width apart. You take your hands behind your head, and we're just going to drop. We're going to roll over onto the outside of the right foot. And we're just going to drop the knees down to the right. So we'll roll onto the outside of the feet, drop the knees down to the right, and look into the left. If you don't feel anything, then you come up and adjust the width of the feet or narrow them. So for the moment, I feel a strong stretch down the outside of my left thigh. Just start to breathe. Try not to bend the neck. Try to keep the neck long. And look into the left. The knees are down to the right. And you can stay in this position for as many breaths as you wish. Again, this is one you can do after a hard day's work. You can stick in a mantra and just oxygenate the body, cleanse the lungs, calm the nervous system. It's a win-win-win. Instead of sticking on the TV or looking at the phone, change sides if you wish. Inhale up, look to the right, knees to the left. Don't become passive. Try to keep that awareness on the slow, smooth, deep breath. And also in the areas of the body that are releasing tension. Don't worry if your elbows are not flat on the ground. It will happen eventually. Unless there's a physical reason for it not to happen. And in your own time, once more to either side. And try just adjusting the width of the feet. Try making them a little bit wider, a little bit narrower, and see how that changes the stretch. So I've made it wider, and now this pull is on the inside of my left thigh as my knees go down to the right. It will be different for all of us. Just have a look to see if you're holding on to tension anywhere. Are you still thinking of something that happened yesterday? Are you still hanging on to some emotional reaction in the past, which is keeping a part of the body tense? Just let go of everything. And inhale as you come up to the neutral, back down to the left, looking to the right. The challenge in these positions is not just to lie and not keep awareness on the breath and the movement. Check that your mind doesn't drift. You're releasing the shoulders, you're releasing the neck. You're releasing the lower back, thigh muscles, muscles in the hip area. Slow, smooth, deep breaths. Up we come to neutral. Now we take the feet touching, the knees touching, the legs touching, abdominal stretch. So this time we're going to lower the legs to the right and look to the left. We're going to roll on the outside of the right foot. Then we take a left foot off the ground. We keep the knees and the legs in the same position as we swivel at the hips. We drop both legs down to the right as we look to the left. And you'll feel this is a much stronger stretch. And when you drop the knees down, try to keep them parallel. The tendency is to let go of the tension in the top knee, in this occasion the left one, so it drops below the right. So when you're up at neutral, your soles of the feet are on the ground and your knees are in line. As you drop them down to the right, you keep them in line. You swivel at the hips. You don't let go of the tension. You just soften into it. You soften the forehead and the eyes, and the nose and the jaw, the cheeks, the ears, the teeth and the gums. Let go of that neck, the shoulders and the arms and the elbows. Just by mentioning the part that you want to release, it helps to release it. It brings awareness to that area and you let go of any tension that you're holding on to. Or there's a greater chance you will let go of it. If you're determined to hang on to the tension, of course it will stay. Why wouldn't it? So in your next inhalation, you just raise the legs and knees that are still clasped together and lower them down to the left and look to the right. Sleeping abdominal stretch. Awareness on the slow, smooth, deep breath. A three-part yogic breath. Inflation of the abdomen, expansion of the rib cage, and the last puff of air up in the clavicle area. So when you're ready in your next inhalation, you take the knees up to the center and you stretch away the left leg. So you straighten the left leg, the right one remains bent. You stretch out with your palm down the right arm, stretch it out in line with your shoulder. You look to your stretched out hand and you take your left hand, clasp the leg and roll over to the left with the leg as you look to the right. Universal spinal twist. We've done this many times. Don't worry how far you get with the right leg coming over. Perhaps your right shoulder gets on the ground, perhaps it doesn't. And relax into this. So you're looking towards the right hand, which is flat down on the ground. And you're applying a little bit of pressure with your left hand on your right knee. Universal spinal twist. Breathe slowly and deeply. Three more breaths. Check that you haven't dropped the chin. And slowly release. As you come up, stretch away the right leg, bend the left. Stretch out your left arm, palm down. And then we take our left leg and we roll over to the right, clasping the right hand on the left knee as we look to the left. Now I'm considerably tighter on this side, so the leg won't go as far over. And my shoulder wants to come off the ground. So you'll always notice a difference with each side. So in the future, if you know what side is stiffer, you start with the stiff side, you then work on the easy side, and then you finish on the stiff side. And that will bring parity. You can do that with any posture for any part of the body. And smile, always smile. We're trying to enjoy the process as opposed to rush through it to go on to something else. So even if you come home after a long days at work, even if you come home and do these simple 3 exercises, the window wipers, the abdominal stretch, and the universal spinal stretch. Even if you just do the thumbs up the middle, but do something. Even if it's just for 10 minutes. Discipline will set you free. Three more breaths. And slowly release. Take both your feet to your seat. And just apply a few pelvic tilts. So you're just lowering that gap in your lower back, that natural lordosis. So you're just flattening the lower back. Don't worry about the breath, just a few rhythmic movements of lowering the lower back onto the ground, flattening the lower back onto the ground. And you're lifting your seat up just a smidgen, nothing much. You're not actually raising the body up, you're just allowing the seat to come off the ground with the tilt. Now we're going to take an ankle. I'm starting with my tighter side, but we take our right ankle and place it on the left knee. And you have two choices. We've done this before many times as well. You can clasp under the knee. You place your right hand through the triangle you've created. You can clasp under the knee or over the knee. So under the knee, if you're not so flexible. But if you can manage it, you can clasp right over the top of the knee with your right foot on top of your left knee. And again, this is giving a wonderful stretch. Inhale, and as you exhale, you apply a little bit of pressure just to ease off these hips. So if over the knee is too much, you just adjust and clasp under the knee. Again, you can pause the video and have a wee look. You can see the changes I'm making. Again, for some people, they get an ache in the back of the neck with this one. So once you've had a few breaths and released the tightness, you can just roll back and rest your head. But it's a different stretch, of course. I prefer staying up. So you play about with the postures. You have a wee look to see what your body wants to do and what it's comfortable with on any particular day. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. There's little point being in this posture with the breath and the stretch if your mind is somewhere else. So when you're ready to release, we'll just do the opposite side. Release the leg, lie back, give the back a wee break. And then we take the left foot on top of the right knee, either under the knee or over the knee. And as you exhale, you apply a little bit of a pull, nothing aggressive. As I say, if you find that it's a little bit of an ache in the neck, you just lie back. If you can't lie back because you're holding over the top of the knee, hold under the knee, and that will enable you to be able to lie back, no problem. So you play about. A lovely stretch. 3 more breaths. Feet on the ground next to your seat. And you'll feel that rush of blood and lymph into the area. So again, just flatten the lower back. So you're lifting the seat a little bit off the ground, but you're not lifting the torso. And you're just easing that lower back. Now we can lift the seat. So we're just going to raise the seat up. Inhale as we raise up to the first point of resistance. If you wish to raise your arms, you can do that as well, or you can keep them down at your side. I'm going to raise them. So inhale, raise the arms, stretch them out behind the back. And we're not doing an aggressive lift. We're just inhaling as we do a gentle bridge, and you'll feel the contraction of the thighs and the gluteals. So for me, it's only a slight contraction because of all the cycling. So I'm going to take my heels and move them in a little bit closer. And then now as a lift up, ooh, that's a wonderful strong contraction in the thighs and the gluteals without taking the body in, aggressively lifting it up. You're just looking for the first point of resistance. So there's 2 ways of doing this. We take your feet closer to the seat, or you lift the seat higher. I prefer the method of taking the feet closer to the seat. And then when you lift up ever so slightly, you get a very strong reaction. If you take your feet further away and then lift up, you're not getting such a strong reaction in the thighs and the gluteals, and you're compressing the lower back as well. So I don't like that method. I prefer the feet closer to the seat, and then you don't lift up so high. So you're lifting up and you're stretching through the arms. We're not going to lift the legs today. Other days you can take a weight on one foot and lift the other leg. I think you can get enough workout just with this. Inhale, lift up, contraction, and relax. It's very good for the gluteals and the thighs. Elongate the body as you stretch through the arms. Slow, smooth, deep breaths. And when you're ready, try to come down with the arms in an exhalation as you lower the seat and the arms touch the ground at the same time as the bottom, instead of just coming down uncoordinated. Keep the feet at your seat. Again, just pelvic tilts. It's like a massage to the lower back. And now only if you wish, maybe that's enough for you and you're happy to lie with the knees bent and breathe slowly and deeply, but you can place your hands on your thighs. And we're going to do sit-ups. So this protects your lower back. So we inhale, and as we exhale, we just slide the hands up the thighs to the knees as we come up. You don't have to go far. It doesn't increase the contraction of the abdominal muscles. And then when you're ready to inhale, inhale as you come down. Or you can stay up and breathe, contracting, which is a lot harder, obviously. So inhale, and as you exhale, you slide the hands up to the knees. So this is a way to get the stomach muscles working, but you protect the lower back as well. So again, you can stay with the hands up at the knees and have a few breaths, which is quite strong. Now again, you just continue coming up and down, exhaling, inhaling. A couple more. You can stop, take a few comfort breaths. And then we do a couple gentle squeeze curls, nothing aggressive. Just exhale as you tuck the chin in, pull the knees down towards you. Again, that just has the effect of easing off the lower back. Very subtle movements. And clasp the knees, and we're going to roll from side to side, just to give a wee massage. Nice and easy. Make sure you've got a bit of cushioning under your back, a decent mat. You're not on a very hard surface. You can feel that gentle compression and release of the lower back as you Roll back and forth, side to side. And now we're going to rock. So tuck your chin in. We're going to rock back and forth. Once you gain momentum, you can sit up with the rocking. But try a few rocks first. And then when you feel ready, you just increase the momentum and up you come. You can come up to the balancing boat and then sit up. There's many variations, but that's a simple routine that you don't have to take so long. How long has that taken? Surprisingly, that's taken almost 40 minutes. We're going to do threading the needle. So we get in the position of the just the basic cat. In fact, we can just do a few stretches with the basic cat here. So the knees are directly under the hips. The hands are under the shoulders. If you've problems with your wrists, you can take the hands slightly further forward, which changes the angle on the wrists. And just do a few. Stretch up and come through. We're doing it a bit quicker than usual. Stretch up. Stretch that throat, look up with the eyes. And then you move the head first, tuck in the chin. Always moving the head first. And then you travel down the spine. I'm getting a lovely stretch through the abdominals after that strong contractions. Now we'll do a few threading the needles. So again, we've done all of these before. So get the comfortable position. And we're going to hold each movement for 6 seconds. I'm always saying it takes 6 seconds for muscles, tendons, ligaments to release. So this is an easy exercise to try it out. So we're going to raise the right arm first, threading the needle. Inhale as we raise the right arm to the first point of resistance. So you're not aggressively lifting it up, you're taking it to the first point of resistance, and then you have 6 breaths. And it will release naturally. After 6 breaths, you come down with the right arm, tuck it through, thread the needle. Remember, you can stop on your elbow if you wish and rest on that, or you can come right through and rest on your shoulder. Then we'll raise the right arm. 6 breaths. Nice and easy. After 6 breaths, you come down with the left, unravel, and then we'll raise the left and thread the needle as before. So inhale with the left as we raise. 6 breaths. So we're not aggressively trying, you see people trying to stretch right round. First point of resistance, doesn't matter where it is. Maybe you're carrying an injury, maybe you haven't moved in this way for quite some time. And then down we come to thread the needle. As I say, if you're not so flexible, you can rest on the elbow and then raise the right You can push right through, rest on the shoulder. 6 breaths as you raise the right. Lower when you're ready, and out we come. So if you wish to continue more of these, then pause the video and continue more in your own time. Now we're going on to sit-in twists. Remember, there's nothing wrong with doing one posture and increasing the number of breaths. You could have stayed in that for 10 breaths. You don't have to quickly run from posture to posture. But in a class environment, you're trying to give a little sample of each situation. If I were to stay in this for 10, 15 minutes, you'd probably get bored. So sit-in twists. Again, for many people, this is a challenging position in itself. Sitting with a straight back, contracts the thighs, and it's uncomfortable for most people unless you've got a good posture. So to do the twist, we're going to take the right leg over the left, and we'll go in the direction of the, so right, I'll turn around, right leg over left. And if you're comfortable keeping the back straight, then you just go to the left and you turn around, keeping the back straight. If you don't feel your back muscles are strong enough, then you place your left hand down, and this acts as a post. So don't be shy if you feel your back muscles are weak. Use the post, and this keeps you erect and will allow you to get the benefit from the twist. If my back muscles are not strong and I release the post, then the tendency is the back will bulge out, and it's not a proper twist. It's of little benefit. So right leg over left. Get your post if you need it. If you don't, you just take your left arm, place it around the back. But it's important you keep upright. And again, just start to breathe. So do use the post until your muscles are strong enough to keep your back erect. As I said many times, I never used to like this posture because my back, I've had a lot of challenges with the back, so I had to build up the back before I could sit without the post. A couple more breaths. Keep the neck long. Keep the chin parallel to the ground. And we don't move the legs. We keep the legs in the same position. We come out of the twist. And then we'll go to the right. So we keep the leg crossed over to the left as we hug the right knee, arm around, and then we look in the opposite direction. Again, if you need your post, get your post in there, get upright. It completely changes the twist. If you don't think you need it, get your hand around your back, and you can apply a little bit of pressure here with your left arm on your right knee, and it creates a lovely stretch along here. As always, there's many different ways of doing these twists, but this is the one I find useful because you don't have to keep moving the position of the legs. And you relax into them. I used to hate these because they were too challenging. So I gave up on them too quickly and went back to easy postures. We never grow doing that. When you feel you've had enough, you release. And now you can unravel. So turn facing the front again. So that was right over left. Now it's left over right. If you really have a tight back and you find these two challenging, then you just start with the legs straight out, keep the back straight, and you just start from this. You just go around with the torso and you take your hands and you keep erect. And this is your starting position. Okay, so we take left over right. Check it you're erect, check it you're comfortable. Inhale, and then you turn to the right, arm around. Or use your post, obviously. Palm flat down, arm as close to the back as possible. So this is giving like an internal massage. You're squeezing the internal structures. And then when you come out, you release, so you get blood and lymph rushing in. You can also think you're squeezing out any tension. A couple more breaths. Be aware when you sit in this position that you don't begin to slump. Even if you're flexible enough, but you're a little tired, then you use your post, because it takes all the pressure off of remaining erect, but you'll still get the benefit of the twist. So don't be shy and think you're being weak or think you're going backwards. You improvise. And then to go to the other side, we keep the legs in the same position. Again, there's two ways of doing this. I like to hug the knee like this, so I get the contraction here and I get the pull in the hip. Other people take their arm right across and they do this and they use the arm as a lever. I don't like that. I prefer this. Hook the elbow around the knee. Turn to the left. So example, I have a slight ache in my right back doing this today. So I will release my left arm, apply the post, and that's the ache gone. As I straighten my back, whatever I've done, I've tweaked something, but this takes the discomfort right away. So you don't be shy to go back to basics. You do whatever you need to do to make your practice the best in any particular day. Two more breaths and then we'll release. So you do these for a few weeks, and the next time you have to reverse your car and look over your shoulder, you'll do it effortlessly. Or perhaps you're a master of the wing mirrors. And release. Sit up straight. Just let the body recalibrate. We can lean back a little if you wish, create the post with the arms. That opens the shoulders, and you can just lift up ever so slightly, and virtually nothing. And it just eases the lower back again. We can take our toes. Inhale, pull the toes back. Exhale, tighten. Inhale, just the toes, pull the toes back. So you've got your shoulders open. Again, if you've been at the office all day, you're leaning back like this, the shoulders are open, put them in the opposite direction of where they were for 7 hours. Inhale, pull the toes back, exhale, squeeze. I don't think your toes have had much exercise if you've been sitting at the office all day. Inhale, pull the toes back, exhale, squeeze. And then you can bend at the ankles. So you inhale and you pull the feet back and you get that lovely stretch through the calves. Exhale, point. So there's a lot happening here with this simple, simple posture. Inhale, pull the toes back, pull the feet back, and you have a lovely stretch through the hamstrings. Sorry, the calf muscles. To get that breath in deep, lift up through the chest, pull back on the toes and feet, and then exhale as you point and relax. And if you really want to show off, you can lift the seat right up. So now you're balancing on your heels. And that's something different again. So don't be afraid to try different things and see how they work out. Okay, second last posture, animal relaxation. So we're going to lean over to our left and tuck our right leg in. And then we're going to take our left foot, place the toe in line with the knee. And I'm actually going to turn around, because before I used to go into this, stretch onto this cold floor. But if you turn around, then you get the warmth of your mat. And we're just going to lean over the left thigh. So we just walk our fingers out. So with the right leg tucked in, with the left toe at the right knee, and we just walk out with our hands. Animal relaxation. It's a wonderful stretch of the gluteals, stretch of the torso. We come down to whatever's comfortable and you start to breathe. You're trying to keep the fingers in line so you get an equal stretch through the torso. So I can't speak when I'm tucking my chin in for the microphone, but inhale, walk the fingers away, exhale, flatten down. And you're trying to take a breath in between the shoulder blades. So as you inhale, feel that the shoulder blades are being stretched. As you inhale, exhale, walk away with the fingers. Three more breaths. And then slowly walk out. Of course, if you have a strong back, you can lift the arms up from having been stretched out, but it's very strenuous in the lower back. To come out, you lean over to the left, which releases the right leg, and then stretch it out a couple of times. Check that the knee's fine. And then you release the left and do the same with that. Stretch. And then, of course, we do the opposite side. So lean over to the left, sorry, the right, take the left leg around. Take the right foot, line up the toes with the knee. And as I say, I used to go on this cold floor, but we'll turn around. And then we're going to just get as close to it as you can to the right thigh. Walking the fingers out. So if you've been cycling or swimming or jogging, this is the one to do to stretch out those gluteals. So you may get both the elbows on the ground, you may not. On this particular side, I cannot get this left elbow down for some reason. Try and focus on the breath coming in between the shoulder blades. And just by doing that, you'll feel a stretch of the back muscles. 3 more breaths. And then slowly walk your way out. Again, you can stay in this for 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes each side, breathing deeply, stretching, and letting go. It gives you a taste of each posture. Lean over to the right to release the left leg, and then straighten it. And release the right. It's a very nice posture, animal relaxation. And then we come up onto Vajrasana. I think you all know by now it's my favorite sitting position. But get any sitting position that works for you, in a chair, a sofa, Sukhasana, the easy cross-leg position. But I prefer this one. And we're going to finish with the Kiran breath. Again, we've done this before. So we're going to send some love to someone that instantly comes into your mind, even if it's someone you don't like. How's that for a challenge? And remember, if you're sending love to people, you're always going to spill. If you're pouring love over others, you're always going to spill a few drops on yourself. So we'll do the Hridaya Mudra, which is the heart mudra. So we take the left hand and we take the first finger and curl it into the root of the thumb. And then the thumb touches the tip of the next 2 fingers. So we take the first finger, curl it around, so it goes in just to the bottom of the thumb. And then with the next 2 fingers, the thumb touches the top of them. Hridaya Mudra. The mantra, the bija mantra is Yung Namaha, but we're not actually using that today. We're just, this mudra, place your hand on your thigh. And we're going to raise the right arm, hand up, palm, and then exhale as we turn around and place this hand on the heart as you look to the left. Wait for your natural pause. Inhale as you come back. Raise the hand and lower down. It's as simple as that. Inhale up. Exhale around. Look to the left, hand on heart. Wait for your pause. Inhale up. Then exhale down. So you're touching your heart. You've got the Hridaya Mudra, the love mudra. So send some love to someone, the first person that comes into your mind right now. Just continue in your own pace. 3 more in your own time. Then just release your mudra and remain seated with your eyes closed. So we started today with you will never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. You will never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. And we finish with discipline today or regret later on. Discipline today or regret later on. So how simple is that? If you think about it, a small form of discipline is like a small form of self-love, where you love yourself enough to be disciplined and focused and to look after your body, your spirit and your soul, so it serves you well and others. Thank you very much. With much love. Namaste.